Hot Wheels 101 Hunting Super Treasure Hunts for Dummies. This is just another way of saying what are the basics for hunting super treasure hunts, and so I'm going to break it down in this video and hopefully give you guys some knowledge that you can go ahead and implement out in the field, which would be your hunting grounds. So before we get to that, let me go ahead and crack some stuff open for you. We have two purple Shelby GT500s, and one of these, if you recall in the last video, I bought at the meet, which happens to have a vein on the hook, the J hook, but I'm actually not too concerned about that, and I would have kept it for my personal anyways, which is why I bought it. But since I found another one at a Dollar General, and it's a funny story because I happened to go there by coincidence, and I just happened to go inside and check the pegs, and I got lucky. So this one's actually in flawless condition, and I'm going to keep this one for my personal, and then I'm going to crack that one open up for you guys, and it's going straight into this display. All right, let's get to this. So I like to cut these on the side of the blister and go through. Sweet. Hopefully the camera didn't blur out or anything, but yeah, this is a sick car to open up. I do want to open up the Fox body as well, but we will get to that later. I'm gonna save this right here just to show you guys for the video. I also wanted to show y'all these cards. Everything that I crack open, I keep the cards for them. So this is a factory sealed Lambo Super Treasure Hunt, Boulevard, more Super Treasure Hunts, Fox body, the Skyline. I keep all the cards, and the RLCs, keep those as well, and then also the 0 out of 5 chases. I keep all that stuff. If you guys have any ideas, please shoot them in the comments. Let me know what you think I should do with all these cards. Maybe make like a slide wall or something, I don't know, for my desk. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So hunting super treasure hunts and finding one is the most rewarding feeling that a hunter can have, or a collector, both. So for those of you that are new to the hobby and you're not sure how to get started or where to start, I'm gonna go ahead and provide you with some general tools, some knowledge for what you need to know when you're out there hunting for super treasure hunts. First, for those of you who are unsure what a super treasure hunt is, they are much rare to find, and they have more distinctive paint jobs along with a real rider wheel, which is pretty much rubber wheels on the car. So they will also have a TH graphic on there somewhere on the car, and on the actual card behind the car you'll see a treasure hunt flame graphic. So Hot Wheels usually makes about 15 of these super treasure hunt cars a year, and they're designated into a case. So another indication that I had mentioned before was that there was going to be a TH logo or graphic on the car somewhere. As you can see in this purple GT500, if you look closely, and let me get this camera to zoom in and focus, you will see a TH on the passenger fender on the lower part of the car. And then if you turn it around on the driver's side, you'll see another TH on the driver's side fender. The super treasure hunts are always going to have real rider wheels, which in this case are going to be rubber tires. And as you can see closely, there's tire treads on these tires. So you'll see the tread marks if you can see closely. I'll try to get in as much as I can, see if it zooms in, and back out a little bit more. And then also you'll notice they're going to have completely different wheels compared to the main line. In this case, there's going to be chrome mags. I did also want to mention that the premium Hot Wheels also have real rider wheels, and they aren't super treasure hunts. And those cards are a lot more bigger. They're not that hard to distinguish compared to the regular mainline cards. The super treasure hunts are going to always be in a mainline card. This is a 0 out of 5 chase, but it's a premium card. And if you compare that to the super treasure hunt, you can notice the distinction right away that this card is a lot more bigger. It doesn't have that cut on the side, and yeah, it's just completely distinctive compared to the main line. And right here on the bottom right hand corner it says real riders, so you'll know that the car is a premium card if it's this big. The last thing I mentioned is that it would have a flame on the back of the card, which in this case will be the GT500 card that I showed you earlier. And the back where the car would actually be, you wouldn't be able to see the flame unless you were to tilt the card in a certain angle. And then lastly, you'll have a better paint job on the car. This one you can see glimmers a lot more than the mainline. The mainline will have like a dull color somewhat, and the Super Treasure Hunts will always catch your eye. The paint jobs on these cars are also sometimes completely different from the mainline. So for this year, for example, the purple Datsun mainline is purple, and so the Super Treasure Hunt for that Datsun is going to be a pink color, and it's also going to have that glimmerish paint job as well that'll catch your eye. It's a completely different color from the mainline. Okay, so as I mentioned before, each Super Treasure Hunt will be broken down into each different case. Speaking of cases, I'm going to provide you with the tool that I utilize and implement to find out which supers are in which cases. Also, this website that I'm going to provide you with will also tell you which treasure hunts are in which case. So it's very useful and versatile, and I recommend that you utilize this just to familiarize yourself which supers and which T-hunts are in which cases. So that way when you're out hunting, you spot the box or even the card, you can kind of tell or gauge what super you should be more or less looking for. And I'll also post it in the link down below as well. I'm just going to show you directly on my computer, that way there's no confusion at all. So it's got the treasure hunts from all Super Treasure Hunts and everything from all the way back to 1995 and whatnot. So if you click on the top tab right here next to T-hunts, it says supers. We're going to click on that, close this ad, and then we're going to click on 2023 just because that's the year we're in right now. So as you can see here, it has Mix A right here. You'll see it next to the car. Mix B, Mix C, Mix D. And these are going to be the Super Treasure Hunts that are going to be designated to the letter case. So the Batmobile you would find in A case. The Benz you would find in B case, and going forward. They do not have the letter O and the letter I just because it's confusing with numeric characters. So they don't want you to get confused with a 0 or a 1. They're going to be having 15 letters in the year for Hot Wheels cases. It's from A to Q and you're missing O and I. So that's the tool I utilize. This also goes for the treasure hunts as well. I believe I found a JK Super in an H case, and this was last year. So it's not necessarily 100%, but it gives you a good idea, and for the most part it's really accurate. It's just, I wouldn't say 100% accurate. Actually, nothing is 100% nowadays. The next thing you want to do is determine what your hunting grounds are. When I was hunting religiously, I knew that my Walmarts brought out their pallets at nighttime. Some of them brought them out earlier than others. It just depended on the location. And then I knew that my grocery stores, which I'm in Texas, San Antonio, so we have HEBs here that are the most dominant grocery chain here. I knew that those HEBs were bringing out their pallets overnight, so whenever I wanted to hunt at HEBs, I'd go out early in the morning. So like 6 in the morning, you have to be there. Sometimes you'd find other hunters or other collectors there as well. It just depends. And as far as my targets go, I knew that my targets were going to be bringing out their stuff around 11 or 10ish a.m. to about 1 p.m. So targets have a bigger window where I'm at. There's some people that will go to targets and they would ask the employees like super early in the morning to check if they have any Hot Wheels in the back and bring them out. I just can't do that. I'm not one of those people. I feel like a pest or something. If I'm there, if I go early, I'll ask them if they have any more toys to bring out. And if they do, I'll just come back later. But I don't feel like bothering them because I'm pretty sure they get that a lot from other collectors or other people that hunt as well. HEBs and Targets were my two big stores where it was just pure hunting, like no going through pallets or any of that stuff. It was just pure hunting. You go out on a hunch and you get lucky or you don't get lucky. Those are my two stores where most of the supers or chases that I've found, or even transports that I've found, they were straight on the pegs, or either the worker was just bringing that stuff out. As far as Walmarts go, that's a different story. I'd go at night and I'd have to go through the pallets. I'm gonna save that topic for another video because there's a lot of like, I don't want to say controversy, but there's a lot of spark over that action of someone going through a pallet, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna save that for a different video. So now that you have your hunting grounds covered and you get a good idea of when employees bring out the pallets or stock the shelves, you need to know like what you're gonna be looking for and what a Hot Wheels case looks like on the pallet. So as you can see in the picture right here, this is an F case for mainline Hot Wheels, and it's gonna be a 72 count. The way you can tell that it's an F case is the third letter from the last. More than likely the last three characters are gonna be letters. So in this case, it says 977FPS. So it's going to be the F in this case. For 2023, if you found that case, you're going to be looking for the Renault Sport RS Super Treasure Hunt. And for the Treasure Hunt, you're going to be looking for the Donut Drifter. And I'm posting another picture of what they look like on the pallet right here. So as you can see, those cases have already been gone through. You can tell because they've all been cracked and they've all been flapped open. This is exactly what I do, just so that way everything is neat and it doesn't look like it's been touched. It's not a mess and it's not all over the place, to where you can tell that some person who was in a rush went through them and just left the mess everywhere without a care in the world. So this is exactly what I do. I put them back together and I leave them stacked neatly the exact same way I found them, so that way there's no frustration from the employees, other than obviously I've gone through them. So if you see that they've already been gone through, don't lose hope yet, because sometimes people will just go through them and pick out their favorite car, or they don't know what exactly they're looking for. So if you go through them, there's still a possibility you could find what you're looking for in there. Don't let that be a deterrent for you. I wanted to go ahead and point out that the letter case for these cases that are on the pallet is going to be J case. You can tell this because the last three characters on each case have JQV. The other one says JRD, which is upside down, JPZ, which is upside down, and JRD, I believe, which is upside down, and JPX, which is upside down. So all those cases are going to be J case, and if we look back at the website I told you about, you would see that the Super Treasure Hunt car that you will be looking for is going to be the 82 Toyota Supra. So I'm going to go ahead and touch a little bit on that topic regarding the pallet rating, or I don't know what you want to call it, but if you do decide to go through the pallets, I always go through them, and I think that's actually the best way you can find a Super nowadays. I know a lot of people will tell you like it's wrong or blah blah blah, but the days of finding Supers on pegs are slowly diminishing. So if you're not doing this, somebody else is, and somebody else is scoring and you're not. That's just the truth behind it. If you follow the big YouTubers that go out and hunt all the time, more than likely if they're scoring a lot, they probably have a good connection at multiple stores. You might be thinking to yourself, oh no, I see his videos and he goes to the pegs and he sees everything stocked, or she sees everything stocked on the pegs. But more than likely that connection has called him or her and told them that, hey, I just stocked the pegs, you're ready to go. So don't let the smoke and mirrors blind you. More than likely there's a connection there. But I'm not one to say that's wrong or right. I'm just letting you know. It's always good to think with the open mind. I'm not one to blast somebody for doing that. I don't really care if they do that. So I think I went off on a tangent, but I'm going to get back to what I was originally talking about. The best practice is always ask an employee at a Walmart if you can go through the pallet. That's best practice. In my situation, I've asked employees that before. Sometimes they've told me no, and sometimes they'd say yes. If they say yes, it's a rare occasion. If they say no, more than likely a previous collector or a previous person made a mess, and so they just had a bad experience with somebody that goes through the Hot Wheels. Or they're either waiting for a friend to go through them as well, like you have those connections. Or if I don't go through them, later on that night somebody else will, and they'll find a super and I won't. So it's like, it's not consistent what they tell you. Like, they're not going to be telling every single person. It just depends. So I found that it wasn't consistent, and it can get frustrating. So what I do is, whenever I go to Walmart's and I find that there's a pallet out there and there's Hot Wheel cases or premium boxes, I'll take them, because if it's on the floor, it's fair game, in my opinion. And I'll take those boxes or those cases and I'll go into the nearest aisle, just so that way I'm out of the way from other people that are shopping there. And I'll go through the case and I'll see what I'm looking for. If I find what I'm looking for, I take it and I put it in my basket, and I'll put everything back the way it was. I'll fold the flaps back and place it back directly on the pallet exactly where I found it, just so that way it looks untouched and it doesn't look like somebody just came, ravaged through the whole thing and left a mess. That's the best way that I've found to have success with my hunting, and so I'm just letting you know what I do. If you're not doing this and you're just strictly hunting on the pegs, you're gonna have to familiarize yourself with the back of the card, which in this case is gonna be the letter K. It's gonna be the last letter that you'll see on this card. And that is how you're gonna tell what car you're gonna be looking for on the pegs. So yeah, like I mentioned, pallets, when you see the pallets, familiarize yourself with the case. I pointed out those two pictures of what the cases should look like, and even on the pallets. In my experience, I've found that the super treasure hunts are on the bottom of the case. I think I found some on the top, but for the majority of them that I found, I think they were on the bottom of the case. I'm gonna throw a clip in here just to show you exactly what I mean when you go and you see a case on a pallet and you crack through it and look for that super. So that way you know exactly what I'm talking about. And here it should be.
This is a fresh L case. We're gonna grab this. Guys, look at that. We scored our first super treasure hunt after a super long hiatus. See it, maybe we might get lucky with a 0 out of 5 chase, but I am good with what we found today.
So now that you've seen the video, you saw that I was looking for the pallets, and I saw the case, and I knew exactly which letter case it was. I took it with me into the nearest aisle. I cracked through it. I saw what I was looking for. I pulled it out. I found the super. I confirmed it. I showed you exactly what to look for. And then I folded all the flaps back up and placed it back exactly where I found it. And that's exactly how I hunt. I think the last time I did hunt was that video, which was about a month or two ago. I forgot when it was. But yeah, that was the last time I hunted. It's just very difficult because where I'm at, a lot of people have connections at different Walmarts, even Targets, HEBs. So it's kind of hard to hunt because, you know, I waste my time going out there when I know for a fact that the employee is holding some stuff at the back for someone else and all that stuff. So it sucks, but it is what it is. And yeah. Okay, so going back on that topic about going through the pallets, I also wanted to mention that it's not even 100% guarantee that you'll find an uncracked case, because there's times that even the Walmart employees or other employees will go through the cases in the back. So it's not even 100% guarantee that you'll get what you're looking for, or even get a chance at what you're looking for. So yeah, I'm gonna do a different video on that. Pallet rating, is it ethical or not? I don't know, but it works. So we will do that video another time. And yeah, so just to recap this video, I showed you exactly what to look for on the card. If you're hunting on the pegs, familiarize yourself with the back characters on the top. The actual card will also have a TH logo on there sometimes. So if you look closely on the fender of this GT500, you'll see the TH graphic on there. And then lastly, I mentioned that there's gonna be a flame. And I've even read somewhere that they've put sayings or phrases on there as well for the super treasure hunts. I haven't seen that myself, but I know I've seen it for the regular treasure hunts, just not for the supers. The treasure hunts will have a gray graphic on there of the treasure hunt flame, but they won't have a gold graphic. Those are pretty much designated for the super treasure hunts. And then the treasure hunts will oftentimes have a phrase on there just letting you know that you found a treasure hunt. You also know what to look for on the actual car: different paint, different wheels, different tires, and a TH graphic somewhere. And sometimes even a different paint job. And now you know exactly which letter case you're looking at. Other than that, I think that concludes everything you need to know if you're looking for super treasure hunts. Determine what your hunting grounds are, find out when they bring out the pallets, find out when they stock the pegs, familiarize yourself with the cars, the letters, which supers belong to which cases. Best practice is to familiarize yourself with all the super treasure hunts. Sometimes they put them in different cases, so if you have that sharp eye, you'll be able to spot that on the fly. And other than that, I think that's all you guys need to know to find super treasure hunts. I will see you guys next time. Before I let you go, I just want to show you one last awesome thing that I got from my boy Manny. And it is the DeLorean DMC 12 pack from RLC. And this thing is amazing. Also, this display that they came out with, super sick. Plan on just putting it on my shelf on the right side with the rest of my stuff and displaying it that way. If you guys got any other ideas, feel free to shoot those in the comments. I'd like to know. Last thing I wanted to mention was please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to grow 1,000 subscribers. Right now I'm at like 5 and some change. So yeah, that's my goal. If you could help me out, subscribe. If you like this content, it would be greatly appreciated. See you guys in the next one. Man, I can't let y'all go like that. I gotta show y'all this bad boy going into the display. So I'm gonna throw this one right above that Celine S7 custom paint and wheels. Man, she's a beauty. Jeez. And that's where she will stay. All right, peace out.